How's it going, guys? Fly here, and in today's GTA 5 video, I'm actually going to be showing you guys two new mods, which are actually released for GTA 5 on PC. I say both new, one of them is a little bit newer than the other one, but they're both two very cool vehicles in GTA 5, which have been made by mod creators on the mods site for GTA 5, which is of course GTA5-mods.com. So, I'm actually going to need to pick which one I handle first, so I'm going to turn around now, and I'm actually going to show you off the two vehicles that we're going to be covering in the video. And that is these two. So the one on the right is actually a replacement for the Blazer, and it's really cool. I love driving this thing. It's a great laugh. And then we have this, which is actually called the Dune of Death, whereas the other one's actually called the Deathwing. This is the Dune of Death, which is huge. You can see that it has a couple of guns there, and it's completely different to anything that we've seen in the game. Whereas this can you can almost see this being in the game. This you really can't really. So I'm actually going to need to choose which one I play with first, and I'm thinking we might go with the Dune of Death. I think let's do that now. So the Dune of Death was actually made by a guy on the GTA 5 mod site who goes by the name S-Raw, I believe, something like that. And this thing is really cool. Now, I have one gripe with it, and you're about to see that in a second, but this thing, at least visually, looks absolutely awesome. So you can see that you can either, I guess, sit up there, theoretically, but as the driver, you actually just have to go into this seat down here, and you are in the Dune of Death. Look how awesome this thing looks. I just love like the first person view of this. While there's no actual heads-up display there, you can see that all of the steering wheel actually turns. Everything is properly, it's actually set to be working. And when we're driving along, you can see that this turret moves as well. Watch this. If you look in the top right, you can see the turret turning with us. But you can't see it quite so well in first person. But if we actually go into third person, which it seems I have to get out to even be able to do, go into third person now, you can see that it's properly turning there. Now actually I've noticed something, and this is my main gripe with it, is to go from from first to third person, you actually have to get out of the vehicle. When you're in it, it doesn't seem to work, and that's a bit annoying. We're actually going to go take it up the streets now. Look how cool this thing is. Annoyingly, it doesn't have a cinematic camera either, so it's a little bit difficult to drive, but this thing just looks absolutely sick, despite the fact that your camera's offset like this. Now the gun, as you can see on top, isn't just there for aesthetics. It actually works. Look at this. This actually appears to be the gun that you use on the, I believe on the Insurgent, the heavy Insurgent, where you can actually go around shooting this, because it feels just like the one that you use in the heist missions, in the Humane Lives raid for GTA Online. So you can see here that we're just riding down the streets of Los Santos in this thing straight out of Mad Max, and actually just blowing people up as we go along. This thing looks awesome. One of my favorite vehicle mods that we've seen in the game yet, just because it's kind of creative and it looks nothing like a standard car in this game. It's really just quite something. It's very impressive. It's so powerful. For those of you that maybe haven't tried the heavy Insurgent, maybe you haven't been able to play the heist update, you can see here that the gun on it, the gun on the heavy Insurgent is extremely powerful. It's very, very, very powerful, and it's a one-shot kill to any person, and just a few shots to kill any given vehicle. So you can see we've actually got the police on us now. Haven't actually turned off the police for this video. I kind of wanted to use this to be able to show off just how powerful this gun is. Looks like we're also being attacked by helicopters up there. I can't actually see where the bullets are going here, because for some reason the reticle doesn't exactly line up with the line of bullets. It's somewhat over it, so you have to kind of compensate for that. But this looks just so cool, cruising up the streets over here, up in the Tonga Valley. It looks so cool. We've got the roadblocks here. Don't care about these spike strips, at least I hope so. I'm pretty sure it has bulletproof tires. I'm not entirely sure. Might have wanted to check that before. But this thing is really, really cool. Like I said, one of my favorite vehicle mods for this is it can actually have two different driver-controlled weapons, apparently, but I'm not entirely sure how to switch weapons. So what I actually want to do is, in this beautiful day in Los Santos, I actually want to take this off-road, because it is, of course, very off-road styled, and I want to see just how it handles, actually. We're going to take it down here and see if it can stay completely straight. Now, something that you may have noticed, I don't know if you can really tell from watching, or maybe you have to be there and actually playing it, but this feels, what vehicle is it? It feels exactly like the Dune buggy in the game, where the back of the vehicle is very heavy, and it gets pulled down to the ground every time that you do a jump. If you watch this, The back is the first thing that starts falling, because the front's very light in comparison, because the back has the massive engine in it. Overall, this thing just looks absolutely awesome. It looks so perfect, just cruising down like these more kind of desert, sandy streets. It looked absolutely amazing, and I definitely recommend you guys go check out this part of the mod, because it's, like I said, one of my favorite vehicle mods that we've seen so far. This thing is just, my only actual gripe with it is just the fact that the camera can be a little bit wonky like this. You can see that we're not actually centered like any other vehicle, and I think that's because of the gun turret. As you can actually see in the Insurgent Heavy, you're also kind of offset like this to get a better view of your targets. So I don't know if there's a proper way that you can really fix that, because it's meant to be like this for a reason, but I'm just not sure I love driving with it. But if you do want to drive in first person, you can still do it this way, and you can still shoot, but you just can't really see quite so well where you're shooting. I'm going to try to take out these guys though. There we go. See, so you can shoot perfectly well in first person, just a little bit harder to actually aim. So now let's actually move over to the Deathwing, actually made by I'm Taj on the GTA 5 mod site. Now this thing is very, very small in comparison to this massive beast over here, which is of course the Dune of Death. But this thing is nonetheless still very cool. It's a replacement for the Blazer, and it's still a four-wheel vehicle despite the fact that it could easily pass off as three. But this thing just looks very unique in the aspect of the chassis of this being kind of very mismatched. The actual seat where you drive is all the way at the back as opposed to normally at the front. You can then see that there's massive shaft layer running to the front. So it kind of has a funny way of driving, at least it feels like it does, because the wheels being so far ahead, it just doesn't feel like the standard Blazer. But in first person, you can see that this thing works perfectly. You don't, of course, have any actual heads-up display there, and you can see that it just looks very, very cool. So I'm going to go back into third person here, and actually cruise up towards maybe Polito Bay. This thing, on the other hand, doesn't have a broken camera. You can definitely go into cinematic view with this, and it just looks really cool. Look how awesome it looks. Just cruising down the road there. It's not quite as fast as the Dune of Death, but I just like this because it was something quite unique. I hadn't really seen anything that was kind of a real-life variant of a vehicle, while still having kind of the realistic aspect of a GTA 5 vehicle, where you can quite easily imagine this in the game. It appears we've found two fellow bikers over here, who don't seem to like us very much. We're gonna follow this guy on, what's the name of this? It's the massive American Independence Day bike, and he's massively pulling away from us. Okay. Okay, it appears we're not very fast, actually. The Lost seem to be a bit pissed with us. We're gonna catch him. There we go. We've caught up with him now that he's braked a little bit. I think this just looks really cool. I mean, I look a little bit out of place, but I still think it looks pretty cool. Now he's brake checking me. What are you doing? Oh. I just love the look of this thing. I think it looks really nice. It's a much more normal mod than a lot of the ones that we feature. For example, we have the Dune of Death, or maybe the penis car that we showed about a couple of months back. This thing's quite normal, but I just like the aspect of it being that it's not crazy fast, it's not crazy styled. It's just very realistic and very true to what a GTA vehicle would typically look like, because it's kind of meant to be a replacement for the Blazer. I can very easily imagine this coming in like a future DLC update. This thing would look completely at home in GTA 5. So suddenly here we are again in Los Santos at the very top of this massive ramp above the business district of Los Santos, or kind of going into the south end of it. You can see there the massive shadow cast across the city and an airliner actually under us. That's crazy. So that's kind of just to put in perspective how high we are, at 3 times the height of Maze Bank. We're actually going to go ahead and launch ourselves off of this in 3, 2, 1. Let's go. We need to try to control it, and it's flipped, and it's it's no, it's definitely flipped. It went perfectly, absolutely perfectly. What? What? I got launched backwards. Try that one again. Maybe if we try this in first person, we'll have a bit more luck. And I'm actually going to try to stay up this side of it. Oh my god. And we landed it. Okay, there we go. So I wasn't commentating over that particular attempt, but we finally managed to land it. And that kind of wraps it up, I guess, for this aspect of the video. Oh no, where have our vehicles gone? So I'm not entirely sure what Franklin's doing right now. I didn't mean to do this, but I'm gonna leave it. So, if you guys did end up enjoying this video, be sure to go and drop a like down below, as it really would help me out. As always, you guys know how much I appreciate it. The support recently has been absolutely great, so I'm very grateful for that. Be sure to go and download both these mods if you'd like to check them out. There'll be a link in the description down below. While you're down there, follow me on Twitter, there'll be a link to that also. And also subscribe for more videos just like this coming very soon. And that is pretty much it. Thank you guys all very much for watching. My name has been Flair, signing out. Franklin, what are you doing?